Here's Brody Brazil.
There are precisely 120 minor league baseball clubs in operation for the 2024 season. But what if I told you that every single team, on one day or another, is going to change their name to be known as the Malmo Oat Milkers? That's right, every single team, not all at the same time, and not for the entire duration of the season, but every team is going to do this. Now let's be honest, minor league baseball is well known for the stunts and promotions and wild, catchy team names. They're trying to get your attention. They're trying to make a mark. It's just that the Malmo Oat Milkers comes across a little bit different. This has to be a sponsorship, right? This has to be a deal that minor league baseball struck. Well, in fact, it is. And by the way, none of this has been officially announced by minor league baseball yet. It's coming to us from the source reporting of Paul Lucas and his website UniWatch. He's been doing it for 25 years. He does a great job on all things sports and jerseys and uniforms. Check out his site. Check out this article. That's where I'm getting most of my information from. And by the way, I'm hoping to have Paul as a guest on this channel in the very near future so we can talk about all this. Anyway, let's proceed with what has yet to be announced, but what Paul is reporting at UniWatch. MiLB, which runs minor league baseball, of course, has struck a deal for all 120 minor league teams to wear an Oatly-themed uniform for one game this season. Oatly, the oat milk brand, right? Now it's all making sense. The Malmo Oat Milkers. Oatly inked a multi-year partnership with minor league baseball last year, so that relationship was already established. And this won't be just an Oatly ad patch, which would have been the easy way to do things, right? So a patch on for one night or 1 week or whatever, take it off, make it prevalent, and there's your sponsorship. Instead, it will be a full Oatly-themed uniform, which you already saw on the opening slide of this presentation. Same design for every team. Again, every minor league team will wear it at some point this summer. So that's kind of the broad scope of things. Let's get into the smaller bits and pieces. And there's the jersey once again. This is not an optional promotion for teams. They are all required to participate. And on that, I would say we're starting to see more of a formality here of Major League Baseball completely running minor league baseball and using it as a trial and test market. Now, do I think anything like this would ever come to Major League Baseball? Absolutely not. The game is apparently too sacred for things like that, too traditional. They would never do that at the Major League level. But Major League Baseball is certainly trying experiments here at the minor league level by kind of selling all of its teams out for a different name across the course of a full baseball season. They have no choice. They have no say. And I'm not sure why they would directly oppose to this. I'm also not sure if they're making any money individually from this or if it all goes to Major League Baseball. But they're all required to participate. They cannot say no, even if that's how they feel. Teams will be wearing this uniform for one day as, get this, well, we now know, it's the Malmo Oat Milkers. The Oat Milkers you understand, but why Malmo? Well, that's the Swedish city where Oatly is headquartered, which also is fascinating. This becomes a global story. It's not a North American company or a company from the United States. It's a European oat milk company sponsoring part of America's pastime in minor league baseball. It's just a far-fetched kind of thing, but that's what's happening, and obviously this is going to catch people's attention across the country. These jerseys will be worn throughout the season, one minor league team per day from April through September. So, in other words, there's going to be a slow-motion Oatly tidal wave engulfing minor league baseball throughout the 2024 season. I mentioned 120 different teams, 30-something days of baseball, maybe less than that per month of baseball, so definitely enough time for one single day for every team to become the Oat Milkers. And again, all of this has yet to be publicized or announced or established. This is all according to UniWatch. For now, the promotion, like as you might see it on calendars and schedules, is referred to on team calendars as, wait, who are these guys? Night? So they haven't even unveiled the Oat Milkers name or branding or reasoning yet. So if you see that on your local minor league baseball team's promo schedule, that is the Oatly game. Understanding all that, let's go a little bit deeper into Paul's reporting here about why this is happening. Is this a good idea? Is there more of this to come with minor league baseball? Paul says that all of my sources that most minor league baseball people have talked to really dislike the promotion. One source said, quote, "This whole thing came together very quickly without much notice, but the league is essentially using it as a proof of concept for larger potential sponsors, despite individual clubs not being able to sell uniform sponsorships. Anyone I've talked to throughout the league hates it." End quote. Now, I'm not here to entirely step in the conversation like I know all the background of what's going on here, but it's very clear that when Major League Baseball took over the operations of minor league baseball a couple years ago, they consolidated things. There's fewer teams. There's more rules and regulations and even restrictions for minor league baseball stadiums. They have to be up to a much higher standard than they ever were before. And I'm fine with all that for player safety, but it obviously comes at a cost. And a way to bridge some of that cost is to do things like this. And with Major League Baseball dictating what minor league teams do and how they operate and the income they can and cannot get, I certainly understand it from the boots on the ground level of teams and how they run their own operation. To be told from a much higher perspective, here's what you're going to do, like it or not, it's a difficult thing to understand and accept when every market, every situation, every team is unique. And I think that whole proof of concept thing, there's definitely something to it here. You have to understand that if this goes well, or even if it just goes fine, that'll be good enough for Major League Baseball to pull off more promotions like this moving forward in minor league baseball. And just going back to the whole idea of, would Major League Baseball ever try something like this across all their teams for one day a year? Not necessarily the jerseys and the team names, but maybe a patch, a sponsored day for every team, all the clubs across American and National League teams, maybe they would do something for one sponsor for every day. Maybe that becomes more of a thing. Who knows what the possibilities are, but this definitely stands out. This is definitely a trial run, and this has definitely not been officially announced yet. So get ready for the Malmo Oat Milkers 120 different times across 120 different teams this upcoming baseball season. I bet you did not know about that until now. Hey, you made it here to the end of the video. You know I appreciate that. Thumbs up down below. That'll greatly help me and this channel. And by the way, if you're just seeing me and this channel and this type of content for the very first time, I appreciate it. I'm glad you found me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel down below so I can definitely see you next time.